let's get right into the State of Play event. So, Spoon, why don't you just give a quick intro on it? And,
Do we want to? Are we starting with state of play, or do we want to talk about news
oh, yeah,
first?
of course. I apologize. We are starting with news. It happens sometimes, brain issues. So, let's start with news. And let me get my overlay set up for this. I do have a better news overlay for this. So, for news, what's the first thing on our list again? I think it was the Blizzard thing, correct? So I'm actually going to change the thing here, so bear with me, folks, while I fix this, because it was a Bloomberg article, and unfortunately, I am not paying for Bloomberg, so I need to use Microsoft Edge to properly capture this. Oh, wow, okay. Or I can't capture it with Microsoft Edge. Apparently, it is not a window that shows on Streamlabs. I thought it would, but it's just not. That is kind of funny, so I'm going to wing it. We're going to do a display capture, and there we go. So let's just resize it. I apologize. I thought that this would... I figured Microsoft Edge would show up on that, but it didn't, because it's Microsoft Edge. So let us throw that right there. Whoops,
What a
sorry about that.
browser.
Yeah. So this is my this is the I'm not saying that to default. So the only reason I'm using this is because I get around the paywall this way. So let me zoom in a bit for everybody. I apologize. So this article came out last week. The let's do a quick. I'll do a quick synopsis of it for those of you that haven't really been following along, which I kind of understand. The issue has been that employees within the company, within Blizzard, have been coming forward and circulating a spreadsheet, as shown right here, with their salaries and recent pay increases. And the short version is that the salaries are definitely below market rate, and that their increase in salary among, we'll say, the lower end people is definitely not what you would consider acceptable. Other people have been complaining about the pay for the executives in particular. In this case, they have Chief Executive Officer Bobby Kotick, compensation sort of highlighted here. And they're talking a bit about also the paid stock awards and bonuses for people such as the CFO, which I think people talked about last year when he was brought on. So the article specifically highlights people such as like video game testers, customer service representatives. They're just talking about how their pay is quite below standard of living, which in California standard of living is pretty crazy. If you don't know, it's I think it's like $60,000 a year at this point. I could be wrong on that though. I fact checking me would definitely be a good idea on that. So this article just details it. It talks about some of the pay raises that they'd receive, like for example, 50 cents an hour of pay raise, and that's trivial even for game tester. Spoon, you can sort of talk a bit about game tester rates, but 50 cents an hour is just trivial for anybody. Uh, that's
I mean,
nothing.
it does add up after a while, but um, yeah, I mean, game testers in the video game industry at least do not get paid well. That is
Right.
for sure. They are the bottom of the totem pole. They are not really taken seriously or respected or anything, and they are generally. It depends. With Blizzard, I think they have. Okay, devs usually do have their own internal QA team,
Mm-hmm.
but then there will also be some QA teams from the publisher that are contracted. They'll hire
Mm-hmm.
a bunch of people for a couple of months,
Mm-hmm.
basically right before the game comes out, just to hammer on the quality testing and then basically just get rid of those people.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, though I'm sure Blizzard has their own internal QA teams. But from what I've heard, and I did have I did apply for jobs at Blizzard a couple of times when I was back when I was working in QA, and um, I also had heard that they don't pay particularly. They kind of pay below average for kind of everything. I don't know if it's maybe it's not everything, but like the lower end jobs at least in particular, because and at least the reason that they gave me that they justified it with is like, well, you're working at Blizzard, that looks really good on your resume, so we can pay you less.
Which is dumb, which is stupid, by the way. That's like the stupidest argument I've
Yeah,
ever
no,
heard.
it's really dumb. So yeah, I mean, and I've heard that apparently if you are a QA tester and you don't work in video games specifically, you go into like a software, like a software developer or something like that, that you can make like triple what you get paid in game testing.
Okay.
Um,
I don't know. I'm just gonna take your word for it because I don't know.
yeah,
But,
I don't remember where I heard that. I think actually like Yangya did a video on this, and I think he said that.
oh,
Which,
triple. Okay. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about it. So.
but
Yeah.
anyways,
Go ahead.
yeah, game testing does not pay well.
Yeah. But
Blizzard especially apparently does not pay well for the apparently the aforementioned reason that I gave.
right.
And yeah, Blizzard to me, and we've talked about it a couple times, is kind of, they used to be one of my favorite game companies, but since they merged with Activision, they have becoming and more corporate. They seem to care less and less about the quality of their games, and I guess I don't know much about what their company life was beforehand, so I'm not going to speak to that. But
Yeah.
you didn't see stories like this coming out back beforehand.
Yeah,
So
you definitely didn't. And there's a couple other things in the article which I was kind of disturbed by, among other things. Okay, keep in mind. It talked about some of the employees taking money-saving measures because they're being paid below market rate, which, again, I'm just going to go on record in saying that's the dumbest argument Blizzard could ever give. It's like, oh, you're working at Blizzard. I can almost guarantee you, working at companies like Google, Uber, all the big companies, like the big tech firms, you will get paid more there than other companies. And there's a reason for that. It's so they can get the best people. You pay the best people more. That's generally the argument for those tech companies. Blizzard's like the only company I've heard of that's like, yeah, when you work for Blizzard, we're like a top, we'll say they're a top tier game developer and publisher. It's just like, well, they should be being paid higher than market rate, if anything. But the employees would write that they, one in particular said that they'd have to skip meals to pay rent, and that they used company's free coffee as an appetite suppressant, which is not something you want to hear. Obviously, one person's example, but you just don't like hearing it anyway. Another employee said they would only eat oatmeal and bail on team lunches because they couldn't afford to buy food at the company cafeteria. Again, I want to point this out because I'm in the Silicon Valley area. If you're in a big tech firm in particular, you actually don't really pay for lunches. Google's kind of like one of the big ones, but because I've been to their cafeteria a couple times, Google doesn't charge any of their employees meals. In fact, employees will like bring their families to the cafeteria to eat meals there because it's a good meal, and it's provided to the employee. And a lot of companies in the area will do this because they want people to work for the company. Obviously, it's like, I won't say this is like completely abnormal. I'm sure a lot of companies have this too, where you buy food at the cafeteria. But again, Activision Blizzard is a company I do not expect to see food being purchased at the company cafeteria. It's odd for me, as somebody who's been in this area and been to a couple of those larger tech firms, and see that all of them provide food for their employees at least a few times a week for no charge. A third said they and their partner stopped talking about having kids because they knew they wouldn't be able to afford it. I think that's a bit of a different example here, but still, just I think a lot of people coming forward and saying that they were they're taking more cost-saving measures because they're being paid below market rate, and also in conjunction with it's that Irvine area, correct? I think it's Irvine.
yep, it's an Irvine.
And I'm guessing that's an expensive area, so it's just like, again, for me, it's weird. that they're being paid
It's
below
in
market rate.
Irvine is in Orange County, so
Okay,
it's expensive.
Then yeah.
Um,
So let me
yeah,
sort of get rid of this.
it's expensive like any of the big cities in California. Um, yeah, I don't know how you live on game tester wage, which is generally, I think after I'd been in it for a couple of years, I was making like $12 or $13 an hour, but I started at 9. So
Yeah, which is
you make like somewhere between $10 and $15 an hour, at least at the lowest level. I'm sure like the senior testers and the leads and stuff maybe make 20. I don't know. That's a guess. I really don't know, but um,
it's just, again, I'm gonna point this out again just because this is kind of my broken record thing. Is like Blizzard's the only firm, we'll call it company. We'll just say company. The only company I've heard of that could easily be paying employees higher than market rate because they're supposed to get the best talent, and that's kind of the way you do it. Perks and compensation. They're the only company I've heard of that's just like, oh no, we're gonna pay below market rate because you're working for Blizzard. I'm like, that's almost backwards. Like, you want to pay people more to incentivize them to get the highest quality employee you can. That's kind of like weird to me. It's like that's a backwards argument. Again, I'm going to use this example. Like, I can almost guarantee when people apply to Google, they're not going there just because it's Google. It's because you get all these great perks, and also they probably pay an extremely high rate by comparison because, like, well, we're getting the best people. It's just like weird to me. It's off. So I don't want to say any more about it, but it's off. Like, I know game testers aren't paid particularly well, and there's like arguments to be made for that reason. But at the same time, it's very silly. Like right now, minimum wage in California is what, $15. I don't know how they do it for the game testers, because I guess they're in Activision's case, you were contracted, you were with a contract company, but like, yeah, even $15 an hour, it's very difficult.
so if you make $15 an hour, assuming you work 40 hours a week and all 52 weeks in a year, I just punched it into a calculator.
Go ahead.
You'll make $31,200 in a year.
Generally,
QA works a decent amount of overtime, so it's going to be more than that. Maybe we'll be generous and say you make 40 grand.
Okay.
That's still not enough, like for especially that area of California.
No, it's not.
I mean,
you need a roommate basically. You can't live alone on that.
Yeah, you'd need a roommate or a couple even.
Yeah. So it's like it's pretty rough. But like it is like hearing people. You just don't want to see the stories where it's like, I'm drinking coffee as an appetite suppressant because I can't afford the cafeteria food. And it's like, okay, there's a problem there. there's a major issue there if your employees can't eat at the cafeteria that's provided to them because you're not giving them enough to. It's just like I know that's not going to change, to be honest, but it's just like something should signal and like, okay, there's an issue here if that's the case.
I mean, this is not just a video game industry issue. Like, this is a American issue. This is a corporate issue. Wealth inequality is absolutely absurd in this country. The people at the bottom struggle to make ends meet, make next to nothing, and the people at the top make just an absurd amount of money.
Yeah, we can easily contrast Bobby Kotick compared to a QA tester. It's just like,
yeah.
Anyway, that's one particular segment of news. I'm going to hold it there. I apologize because I don't want to spend too much time on it. Okay, the next thing, let's just roll right into it. I never played Pikmin. Did you play Pikmin?
I played Pikmin 1, and I don't think I beat Pikmin 2, but I played some of it.
So why don't you headline this one, because you kind of told me about this. So go ahead and talk through this one. I've got like an article and a video queued up.
I mean, it's just I feel like it's just the next in the line of Wii U games that are being ported to Switch, because Pikmin 3 was a Wii U game.
Mm-hmm.
And as we know, the Wii U was not a successful console. Not a lot of people played it, and they did have some good games on Wii U. It's just not that many people had a Wii U.
Fact.
So Nintendo is continuing to port their mainstay franchises and big games to Switch, and this is the next on the list. People have been asking for this one, um, as with many others that they've done. And yeah, I mean, Pikmin's an interesting series. It's kind of a weird resource management and that kind of thing where you have these like group of creatures that follow you around and you can make more of them by getting these seeds and they have to like collect stuff for you. And yeah, it's kind of like a weird strategy puzzle resource management type game. I enjoyed the first one. I thought it was pretty fun. um yeah, it's cute. It's yeah, it's a cool game if you're into something like that.
Yeah.
um yeah, I
I've
mean, I don't
I've
have that much else to say.
Yeah, I've never played this series. I only know this because of Smash. That's literally the only thing. But I know. I mean, like, I think this is a. I think like some of our friends have played it. I think like
Yeah.
I think so. Um, I mean, like again, if you're a fan of the series and like I can imagine you didn't play much of this on the Wii U or at all because of the Wii U. Um, October. This is coming out in October for full price. It seems. I think I just read that. It says $60 and features
That's
the
not
base
surprising.
game originally available and all of the additional content. So it's coming with. I don't know what the additional content is. I'd love to know that if it's like a lot of content, but uh, so if it's like a couple DLCs, that sounds like a really nice little package. It says Switch specific enhancements, including full co-op through the story mode, which that seems pretty nice. Um, so I think like that's pretty much what the article talks about. There's like some stuff I think that came from the video, text from the video, and some images. But yeah, I mean it's popular game. Sounds like it. Even if it's $60, it's coming up with a lot of content. Love to see it. So, cool,
Yeah,
cool.
blue in chat saying that it's apparently shorter than Pikmin 1 and 2, which seems weird to me. I'm not. So you're saying it's shorter but bigger, so there's less like required stuff that you have to do to beat the game, but maybe there's more side stuff that you can do. I don't know. That's what I'm getting from what he's saying.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, again, it's a cool series. It's fun. It's cute.
Yep.
Um, good to see more Wii U games being ported to Switch. We'll see. The other big one that people have been asking for, that we'll see if we get, is Xenoblade Chronicles X, which was on Wii U.
Okay.
We just got Xenoblade Chronicles, the first one, Definitive Edition, was a Wii game on Switch, and
Mm-hmm.
we'll see if they do X as well.
Okay.
Um,
And then we have one more thing in news content, by the way. I'm gonna switch the cam. Okay. So we had to do this. There's no debate. We had to do this. Okay. Last Friday or Thursday. I'm sorry. Last Thursday. Uh, Dr.Disrespect has been banned for about a month and a half as of last week. He had some tweets that came out last week regarding a debut onto YouTube. He changed his Twitter stuff to say YouTube. And on Thursday, he launched a live stream of a basically a GIF background image with like all of his branding. Okay, if you don't know his branding, please just type in Dr. Disrespect and you'll find everything. I actually watched this because I got a weird I won't say I got a notification, but I saw this on Twitter. And the funny thing about the Twitter thing also that I'm adding onto this is it was a hashtag Dr. Disrespect. They spelled disrespect wrong. The hashtag that was trending was a misspelled name. It was just misspelled disrespect, which is just sad, by the way. So on Thursday, he launched this live stream, and it was like, it lasted, the actual stream of this like background. It was over 12 hours of just that. It was like, I don't remember how long it was actually. It might have been like 18 hours of just this background image, basically. And he had, there's a lot of excitement and everything. He did go on to the live stream on Friday, and he streamed for a few hours. It wasn't that long actually, where he actually streamed with him on the stream, and he accumulated over 500,000 concurrent viewers at points of that stream. And it looks like he's actually just going to stick with YouTube because he was streaming today as well. So he said on stream as well that he still doesn't know why he was banned. We're just going to take it and leave it. And he also did talk a bit about how he's not going to say more because he wants legal to figure it out. So kind of a big deal for a few reasons, obviously. Number one, obviously we don't know what the ban is, and he's still saying he doesn't know why he was banned. But number two, I'm curious to know if YouTube actually, if YouTube or Google in this case, like signed him to stream on their website. It's like, I don't know why it just seems weird that he would just like, I know YouTube's a big platform, but it's like, why not Facebook? So I have some like, I have some suspicions that like something obviously behind the curtain happened, and like YouTube is offering him quite a bit of money to stream with them. I don't know. It's very like odd. Not a huge indication of the timing. Apparently on his stream, I think he had mentioned that he basically took a month off, like, and he wasn't like traveled for a month somewhere. So like it appeared like he just wasn't even at his home for a while. So anyway, yeah, just wanted to, I mean, like we pretty much had to mention this and sort of like bring this up. Spoon, anything you wanted to say on that? I know you're not a super fan or anything, so
I've never watched Dr. Disrespect, and I never will.
Yep,
He
never
seems like a tool. I don't know what else to say. I don't even know what he does. Like I guess I can guess what his persona is based on his name, but I'm not really a fan of these content creators that put on a persona and it's like go be an actor or go do something else. Like I don't know. It's I know, I'm sure, I mean, he's popular, I'm sure he's entertaining, but doesn't seem like my cup of tea.
Yeah, I will give credit because I watch. By the way, I actually don't watch him, but this is like the first time I've watched him when he went over to YouTube. It's kind of crazy. I will say he does do a good job with his production. He has the most creative production I've seen of anybody I've watched. But yeah, I mean, it's just like I know his audience pretty well, and I think he actually won Streamer of the Year once or twice. I don't know anything else about him beyond that. I think he actually worked. He used to work in game development or something as like a designer, I think. But anyway, he's back, so I think he's just streaming to YouTube for at least the foreseeable future. He's got a big audience right now. I don't know how long it's going to last, like how the audience is going to fluctuate. We'll see. Just thought I would bring it up because this is like he's been gone for a month and a half, and he's just popped up on YouTube. So, okay, I don't think I've missed any other news. Did I miss anything, Spoon? Any other news that we should be sharing?
Well,
please add something.
There's that thing about like one of the games that was shown during State of Play.
So,
are we going to talk about that during State of Play when we get there?
That's correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Cool.
And I don't know if
I have nothing else.
Okay, if you, I'm curious to see how much you know about that.
There was a Cyberpunk event. Was it today or maybe it was yesterday?
I think so. Yeah.
I didn't watch it. I don't know anything about it, but people are hyped for that game.
Yeah, Cyberpunk.
So
you could literally just say Cyberpunk and people go nuts.
I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. I don't know what's gonna get Game of the Year this year because you got a CD Projekt game coming out, and we already had a Naughty Dog game come out. Those are like some of the defaults. Where like, man, that game comes out, that's auto Game of the Year. But we also had P5R come out this year. Final Fantasy VII Remake was pretty well liked. I don't think it's good enough to get Game of the Year.
I'm gonna break your heart. It's not.
People like Ghost. Oh, I know it won't. I know it won't be P5R, even though it should be. But because Cyberpunk and Last of Us 2 exist.
Yep,
Also,
that's
Ghost
really
of
the reason.
Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima exists too, and people really like that one too.
Yeah,
So
there's some good games. There
it's
were good
it's
games.
gonna be an interesting game of the year this year with all the stuff coming out.
My my suspicion is I don't know when Cyberpunk officially is coming out. Is it November? I don't know exactly.
It was September at one point, but it might have gotten
Got pushed.
delayed again to
Yeah,
November.
I think it got pushed back. Um,
Yeah.
my suspicion is if Cyberpunk comes out in November, isn't there like something where if a game comes late enough into the year, it's like, well, maybe we can give it for the following year or something.
I think it has to be in December
It
for
has to be in
that.
December. If I don't know when Cyberpunk officially comes out. If it's November, then I guess. But if it's in December, I have a sneaking suspicion that Last of Us 2 will get Game of the Year, and Cyberpunk will they'll push Cyberpunk back to the next year because critics
Yeah,
love Last of
that
Us
seems
2.
like doing a disservice to every game that comes out
It
next year.
really is,
But
and you know what? That's how it works. It's an award show. It's as much marketing as anything.
yeah,
So okay, we will focus on that other thing though in the state of play when we show it. I'm going to switch us now to our watch screen, and I'm going to get rid of the Pikmin stuff, and we're gonna go. I've muted the state of play stuff, and I'm not looking at chat at all, by the way. So you're gonna have to manage it. Spoon, can I bring it? Actually, no, I can bring it over here. Okay, I think I've got it over here now. So okay, the state of play actually occurred August 6th, as the video says, which was the Thursday.
it was Thursday.
Thursday. Yeah, thank you. And several games. I will say quite a few indie games were shown here,
Yep.
which isn't bad. I'm just saying quite a few indies. Plenty of games I just never had heard of, and I am sort of like almost rewatching this here. Basically, this will be like the second time I've seen a lot of these. This is the first game that was shown. If you don't know what this game is, while I'm playing it, I don't know what else to say to you. It's just like I feel like most people should generally know what this is. So,
I mean, if you didn't grow up in the '90s, you might not know what Crash is.
and it would
but
be quite sad. It would really break my heart. But yeah, I can definitely see a bunch of people who play, who are kids that play Fortnite not knowing what this is, which would break my heart.
though they did have Insane Trilogy that came out a couple years ago,
Yeah.
so maybe people have heard of Crash now because of that.
Yeah.
But before that came out, I would have thought that there's a lot of kids that don't know what Crash
Sure,
is.
I guess that's fair, and it still breaks my heart. But this is the newest Crash game. This is not a remake or anything. This is a standalone game in the series. By the way, just a side note, I love his run cycle. It's just so awkward and weird. It's like perfect. It fits him really well. It's full story. It's got multiple characters you can play as. Obviously, like PS4 updated graphics. I think this is PS4, not PS5. Gameplay. And there were some other modes, I guess, in this besides like a time mode or a challenge mode. I think what they had before previously. There was a mode that they showed later, which was like there was like different elements to each stage. One of which I know I'll dread if I play this, which I definitely will, is there was like an added underwater element to a stage. They also talked about, now that we're here on this biker thing, there are costumes in the game. They said in the stream there are no microtransactions. Any costume or cosmetic earned is earned through gameplay of some kind. So there should be no like purchasing of this stuff, they said. However, I've heard people say that before, and you just go, okay, but how long will that last? So
Yeah, exactly.
other than that, just talked about some gameplay elements. I mean, I know I'm going to play this game. I think it looks great, but I just like this kind of game is fun for me. So, Spoon, your thoughts?
I mean, I did play Crash when I was a kid. I never owned an original PlayStation, but I had a friend who did, so I did play Crash through him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a huge. I don't play a lot of platformers, to be honest. Like I usually play Mario when those come out, but other than that, I don't really play a ton of platformers. I didn't play the Insane Trilogy for Crash, though. I did think about it because it looked cool.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, this looks good. If you like platformers, I don't think you can go wrong. I don't think you can go wrong with this. This looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I I don't really have much else to say too. There was like I don't even know the name of it. I forgot. It was like a gator though. Oh, you can also play. You get to play as different characters like Cortex, and they have very specific character abilities. This guy, I forgot his name. It was like what's his Dingo Gator or something like that.
Dingo. I think it is Dingo.
It's like
Dingo Dial.
Dingo Dial. Thank you, Dingo Dial. So Dingo Dial is just like one of the silliest looking things, but I don't know. I like this stuff. I think it's so simple yet. I think the graphic improvements. I know they made those improvements in Insane Trilogy, but it's like there's a nice charm to it. So I'm excited. And then there was this. Oh, so it's playing on right now on the stream where you like certain levels have different elements to them. Like you do a spin and it shows more of the level or like colors it. There's also this underwater stuff that can be added, which sounds horrible.
This was like a. They described it as a challenge mode type thing where it modifies like existing levels. It seems like it's one of those things where like after you've beaten the game, or at least after you've beaten the stage, you can go back and add these weird challenge modifiers with these different things like the underwater or the color splash thing, or all this stuff going on. So.
I'll admit the color splash. There are some that I was looking at. I was like, okay, that's not really much of a challenge modifier. Like the color one, I didn't really get that one. I could see like this underwater thing be a challenge modifier, for example. Like it just like slows you down. It affects your movement. But like the color thing, I didn't really get why that was a challenge. I would definitely need to experience it, but I don't know. It's nice to see like Crash had those before in its past. And there's the release date. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot. It's about time. So I don't know. I'm excited for this one. Okay. Sorry, we're getting next. Anything else besides before we go to the next one, Spoon?
Nope.
Okay. I'm just gonna let this sort of play out. Talking about. Oh, okay. So this is Hitman. I think this was specifically like it said VR. I think at one point. So Hitman. I've never played any of these. Spoon, have you played any of these? I don't.
Nope.
Okay.
I have not played Hitman.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Hitman's like kind of like a stealth game to some extent. But you play as an assassin, and it's VR. It looks like PlayStation VR.
Well, it says PSVR included, so it's
included, mode included.
You don't have to play VR.
Okay. So this was a pretty short one, though. I remember this being very short. You just sort of like you traverse this like event that's happening. I don't know what the event was specifically, and then you go into a bathroom and kill someone, and that was pretty much it. I have no opinion on this game because I've never played the series. If you enjoy the series, I don't know if you're excited about this or not. This just I don't know. It's okay. It exists. That's all I have to say. Spoon, anything on your end?
Nope, it's Hitman. I've not played it, so I don't have much comment.
Okay.
I'm sure people who play this series are excited for the next one.
Okay, January 2021. PlayStation VR mode included. Okay, this one I'll admit. So the trailer was the I forgot what it was called. It was like Braid or something. Was the title of the game?
Oh yeah, the remastered Braid.
Yeah, this trailer confused me. I hated this part of the trailer, actually, because I was confused. I was so confused. I just like didn't get it. There's like a bunch of papers. I'm sure it has something to do with the game. I'm sure like all this, if you knew the game, is connected. I was so confused. I was just like, what is happening? So I thought it was like Lord of the Rings too. I saw the ring. I was like, is this Lord of the Rings? Am I confused?
One ring to rule them all.
I was like, that looks like the ring from Lord of the Rings. So okay, I'm gonna just skip ahead. Okay, so Spoon. Apparently, this game is a remaster of a game. I think it is called Braid. Any thoughts on what you saw from this game in particular?
Yeah, again, this is another one of those things where I haven't played this. I know this was a very popular puzzle platformer that came out, I don't know how long ago. I think it's been quite a while.
Said like 10 years, over 10
So,
years.
okay, yeah, so that's even older than I thought. But I'm sure people who like this game will be excited to play it in a enhanced enhanced version.
Mm.
And for those who see it and never played it before and are interested, sure. I generally just don't play a lot of indie games and games like this, so probably not on my radar personally, but it looks like a cool remaster.
Yeah, the remaster looks great by comparison to the 2008 version. I mean, uh, I think puzzle. I don't know, puzzle platformer. If this is the type of game that you enjoy, sure, go for it. I'm just like I've never done this type of game in particular, so. But the remaster version looks really good. I liked how they showed the comparison. That was one thing that I liked, where they showed a side to side comparison. I do like when trailers, particularly ones that are doing like an anniversary edition or the remaster, they just say, "Okay, here's what it looked like before. Here's what it looks like now." I like that stuff. So kudos to doing that at least. But other than that, I have nothing else to say. If you like the series, great. It looks okay to me. Looks good to me. So let's see
Is the
what.
next
Oh
is the
God.
next game the one we're
Oh
gonna that you
no.
ranted that yeah,
Oh
okay, yeah,
God.
this
This
one.
game. Okay. I'll let this one play. It's a pretty long one, so I'll kind of like.
Yeah, let's not watch the whole thing. This
We're
part's
not going to
long.
watch the whole thing. I'll just sort of do bits and pieces of it. So, open world game. I don't know if like you play as like a. I don't
The
even know.
Hunter.
Yeah, a hunter.
I
Sure.
think they just called her the Hunter.
Yeah. They called her the hunter. I'm just gonna pause right here. I'll give my first opinion. I think this character is boring. This is like an oddly boring design of a character. I like. I don't like the design of the character. Um, I think like some parts of the open world look nice. Uh, like this particular scene here, I think looks really nice. Like I was interested in this part of the game for sure. I don't know how you felt, Spoon. I think you said it was like nice. The movement was nice here. Was one
Yeah,
thing.
the movement looks cool.
Yeah, the movement looked really cool here. So I think there was like certain parts of this game that like looked really nice. Like I think this looks really nice right
I'm just
here.
thinking for speed. This game might be cool for speed running because the movement might be
Yeah.
really interesting.
Sorry, I'm
Um,
kind of like moving forward, but keep going. Trying to see
yeah,
if
no,
there's
that's
anything
it.
else.
I just think for speed running, this game looks possibly like unique and interesting. Um, I'm not particularly interested in it. It looks. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love the art style. I'm kind of with Otto. I don't. The character is not that interesting to
Yeah,
me.
it's not.
Um,
That's how I feel. There are
and
some parts I like though.
the gameplay just seems to be a lot of just shoot the thing that you're targeting.
Yeah, that's not really a
So
puzzle. They talked about this as like a puzzle, and I'm like finding your way forward. I'm like, that's not a puzzle, really. I mean, like I guess we could call it in the most base form a puzzle, but that's not really a puzzle. I'm a little surprised. Like, there's some visuals that are good. Like I like this visual. I'm not a fan of it constantly being night out here. I hope there's like an explanation for that. There's also this like hunter vision that they show here. You don't get a map in this game. They talked about that. There's no map. You have to just like go at high places and look around from there. Um, it, which I'm like, it's fine, but like with an open world game of a massive size, even having a base map is desirable. To just like, even if you don't show all the landmarks, just like, okay, here's the mass of land that you're in. Um, okay, now we're going to be moving on to the part that I hated most, which is this like weird segment of like you go into like this, I don't know, like demon dimension world, and this was not good. I'm just going to still this right here. I hated this. Everything that this part showed was really frustratingly bad. Um, only because of the color palette. This this color palette, to me at least, like this part is, it's not horrible, but like this, I don't know, like I don't like looking at this personally. It just like doesn't look very good to me, but I don't know. It's that, I guess that's up to opinion. I'm moving forward a little bit, but if you have anything to say on that, Spoon, feel free.
It is certainly an artistic choice. I am kind of with you. I think it's too bright. I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
really like it, but and this is what I mean. I think you mentioned it first, but I was taking issue with in this still right now. Can you see where the player character is at all?
No, I couldn't see it. I'm trying to find other ones too. Like there are some areas where you're like, okay, I can kind of see where the character is, but like right here, I'm like, I kind of lose the character. I lost this character a few times in the gameplay of this segment, and it's because of the color palette. Your character is the same color as this environment. It's, I don't understand this design choice in particular with the color palette. It's definitely something that I think this can work if your character's color is not the same. If it's a contrasting color, I think it works really well.
Or you need to put like a little aura around your character so you can
Right.
see them at all
When
times.
when they shoot the arrow, you can kind of see the character, but there's times where like there are certain parts of it and I'm kind of pausing because like you can see like it can be difficult to see your character. I don't even know where the character is. Like I lost the character actually. I just lost the character in here. Somewhere in here they like did a dive or something and I lost the character. I don't know what they did, but I lost the character.
There she up. Yeah. Do you know? Yeah.
I lost the
That
character again. It's just like I keep losing the character, and it's because of the color palette. So this was not a good. I hated this part of the game, watching this, because I just didn't understand what was happening because I couldn't see it. This is fine right here. Like this is kind of fine, but again, the character's the same color. It just like I didn't get it. So that's all I have to say about that. If you like open world games, this could be something that's like pretty interesting. Like I think the movement's really good. But this character, like the red color here works well against the green. It works well because it's like it stands out. Red does not stand out against red. The red stands out really well here. Like it's perfect. But that world hated it. So I like the open world side of it. I like the normal open world side of it, but going to that dimension thing and trying to play that, I don't know. That turned me off pretty hard. I hated seeing that. Any other thoughts, Spoon, before the next game? I don't know what the next game is. I'm trying
yeah.
to see.
That I mean, I don't know. That game is. It's not. I'm not interested. It's just. I'm kind of with Auto. Even the. I mean, the open world. I don't even know if I like the art style that much. Yeah, it looks like an open world, and I don't know. It just seems kind of bland. It just seems kind of bland to me.
There
Yeah.
were landmarks that I was intrigued by. The puzzles where you just like shoot through this like donut, basically. It's like, okay. Um, the normal world, the green against the red, again with the colors, I liked. I thought that was great. It's like, okay, it's contrasting. I can see, but once you got into that demon world thing, um, okay, next game, Spelunky. Again, I know nothing about this, but Try Courage in our chat when we were watching this told us this was a very big roguelike game. If you're a fan of this, cool. I think like it seems like a cool thing. I'm just gonna let it play. I'm not hating on it at all, but it's just a game that I know nothing about. It looks like Pitfall, like a Pitfall kind of game to me. If you've ever seen Pitfall played or like Super Pitfall, it looks like that. So if that's like right up your alley, I think that's cool. Again, like I wasn't really exposed to this much, and for whatever reason, I was just interested in other things. But yeah, I mean, it's like a faster and definitely more pleasant super Pitfall type of game or Pitfall game. Also, I don't like how they just threw that pug into the fire. That disturbed me a little. Spoon, anything you want to say about this while you were watching it?
I
Friday.
I don't play roguelikes, so this I have no interest in this. It looks cool. I know the first one was very popular, and I'm sure people are very excited for this one. And I feel like I've been saying this about a lot of games in this, but it's just not up my alley.
Right.
Unfortunately, I don't really play these kinds of games, so yeah, that's it. I
That's
mean,
fair. That's fair. Um, yeah. I mean, that's fair. Yeah, like I said, I don't want to hate on this game at all, though. I think like on Friday, we were like at the end, we were like, we don't. Okay, well, we weren't really like enthusiastic about this, but I mean, if you like these kinds of games, maybe you are enthusiastic about what you saw. I just want to make sure that's super clear. Like, we're not hating on this game because we haven't played it or we don't not interested in the genre. It's just like we don't have much to say. I'm gonna kind of like fast forward.
yeah,
I would recommend if you were interested in this, like sort of watching the state of play on your own because I'm skipping through it. It seemed like they talked quite a bit about the things that they were putting in. Okay, Genshin Impact. I hope I pronounced that correctly. This one I was intrigued by. Spoon, I remember you also were intrigued by this because we talked about this specifically.
yeah. I mean, this is up my alley because this is a like
Wait,
JRPG.
it said Tech Otakus Save the World. That's actually what it says under there. I just realized that. It says Tech Otaku Save the World. So this was an open world game. I loved the art style already. I know it's anime styled, but the so like it's kind of like within the theme. But I like the colors. Can I just pause for a second? Compared to the other game we saw, I don't even remember the name of it at this point.
The Pathless.
Pathless. Thank you. Thank you. Pathless and this. Pathless color palette. I understand it's like dark, and that's the idea. This is bright. I can tell everything that I see in this environment, and the colors are contrasting when they need to be. This is nice. This is easy on the eye. Pathless was not easy on the eye. It was not the best color choices. And again, I know that it's supposed to be like dark in the environment. So open world. According to the stuff at the very end, it's free to play, which I'm like kind of surprised. I thought this was an MMO game. Spoon, any thoughts while you're watching this?
Yeah, I mean it's definitely pretty. I agree. I like the bright colors and the art style. Um, is it Blue? You seem to know more than we do. Is this an MMO or is it like a more single player type thing,
Okay.
but it's free to
He
play?
says, yeah, free to play. You pay for upgrades and characters. Uh, Interesting. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about that yet.
Yeah, that scares me. The MTX could be really
I don't know
awful.
how bad. Yeah.
Um,
We'll see, though. I'm trying to go back because there was like a dark environment. It's got controversy. It's Breath of the Wild, but with magic. Okay. it I feel like why is that okay. I'm like I guess like we haven't really played or anything, but like it's an anime art style. Just because it's an anime art style does not mean it's Breath of the Wild. I can see like a comparison to that, but I like this picture right here. There was a dark environment. Okay. This dark environment, I like this a lot too. I'm just like stopping at things that I didn't notice before. There's a lot of different wallpapers you could come out with this game, actually. Like, this is really pretty. It's very simple, but I love the look of it.
if it's gonna be free to play, there's really no reason not to check it out if you're
Sure.
interested in this sort of thing. So, if you play it and you don't like it, that's fine.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's the beauty of it for that. So, like, if you enjoy it, and it's like, I guess, a reasonable cost for you to pick up a character, cool. It's single player, cool. Up to you. I don't know. There's a lot of cool stuff in this. I really liked what I saw with the colors and characters look nice. I thought this was an MMO though. Yeah, I was like, this image right here made me think it was an MMO. Oh, it's a spin-off of a gotcha game. Interesting. But anyway, I'm gonna sort of. I think that's like almost over, but I'm just gonna kind of. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Did they give us a release date? I don't remember.
Let me. I'm backing up because I think I passed it. 1 second. The Wolf, Genshin Impact, autumn 2020, coming to PS4 worldwide. Okay. So I don't know what autumn 2020 means, but September, October, November, could be any of those.
Before the end of the year, basically.
Yep, before end of the year. So just as sort of a last thought, I'm gonna try this. 100% gonna try this. Spoon?
Yeah, I'll probably try it as well if I have time. It looks pretty. It looks cool.
But
yeah, I'm interested. It's a JRPG, free to play. No reason not to try it. You know, if the MTX are offensive, I won't buy them. So
yeah,
there you go.
There you go. Just don't buy it. But and if people want to call this a Breath of the Wild with magic, okay, fine, sure. I don't care, to be honest. All right.
I mean, maybe it is.
I'm trying to see if this is the game. Oh, this is it.
I think it is. This
okay.
Is
We're gonna watch some of this, and then Spoon, you know the story about this, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Spoon can talk through some of the story with this. So this game, what's the name of it again? It's like Aeon Must Die.
Aeon Must Die. That sounds right. It's Aeon something.
It looked like a fighting game, or like a beat 'em up or something. Was it like a turn? I don't know. I was a little confused on that.
It looks like a beat 'em up to
Okay.
me. But
go through the story of this game, please. Recent news, Spoon.
So apparently, right after this trailer came out, there was an alternate trailer that was circulated online by apparently the real devs of this game, and this trailer was like outsourced and not by really the real creators of this game, but the creators of this game have since left the studio because the studio is like wrought with corruption, and apparently the current lead of the studio did some shady dealings to basically wrest control of the studio from the founder, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And now there's like some IP dispute because the people who actually were like making this game but weren't happy with the conditions and the way things were playing out just basically resigned, and they're have an IP dispute with the publisher, and I guess the remains of the studio for this game. And apparently the publisher, which I can't remember the name of right now, has done some shady things in the past with other studios. So this, again, I'm not really that clear on a lot of specifics, but there were a lot of legal documents circulating with certain things redacted, of course, and I haven't read them, but yeah, there's a big old legal dispute over this game, and what is going on with that, with the publisher and the people who are there. And also apparently the development was like wrought with just terrible work conditions, terrible overtime, poor pay, just treating their employees badly, and then beyond that, just legal dispute over the IP and some other things. So a lot of people left the company and are there is legal action being pursued. I think that's about as far as I know.
Right.
So we'll see if this comes out, and if it does, like I don't know, like this just seems like a train wreck.
This
right
seems really
now.
bad. Like, and the fact that it was shown during this particular state of play event almost makes it worse. It just makes it so much worse, in my opinion. It's just like, this is a highlighted game on a PlayStation stream, and it's immediately coming out that, like, workplace environment issues. It's just
I
like,
mean, I'm gonna guess that Sony didn't have any
oh, of
idea
course,
of
I would hope so.
that this was going on behind the scenes, and that they found out just when everybody else did, when the alternate trailer came out from the the source and
Hmm.
all the like legal documents and
Right.
stuff. I'm sure Sony is like, uh-oh, on this one. So
Yeah, no,
yeah.
I'm sure they're like, hey, okay, guess we're not highlighting these guys for a while now. But this was bad. I mean, like, I remember even during when we were watching this on Friday, I was like, yeah, I'm not really that interested in this game. And then I heard all the stuff about it. And I said, oh yeah, this is really bad. Okay. Um, so yeah, definitely something that it's unfortunate for all the people that have been affected, like all the developers and such who were affected and treated poorly. I feel bad, obviously, for all of them. And for PlayStation, it's just like obviously it's not necessarily their. I don't know if it's their job really to vet all the people that they bring on for these types of live streams or like videos, state of play, but I feel like they should be doing a little bit smaller, better job of checking in on these things so that this kind of stuff doesn't happen in the future. But I can see how obviously like for them it's like, okay, well, how do we know? Like they could just lie to us and say things are okay, and it's just like there's just kind of like for me, first of all, not interested in this game. Second of all, never going to be interested in this game if it comes out, knowing that what I know. And yeah, nothing else to say, just that I feel bad for every developer that was treated poorly. So anything else, Spoon? This one was a train wreck in particular.
Yeah, I mean, the art style's kind of cool. The game, again, it's not really up my alley in terms of the kinds of games that I play, but I would say when I watched this trailer, I was intrigued. It's very
Mm-hmm.
unique, but yeah, I unless it changes and the real devs of the game get their hands on it again, I will not support this
Yeah.
product. Um,
So let me just. Sorry, I'm going to move forward to whatever the next one is. 2021. Okay. Uh. Oh, this. I'm trying to figure out which one this was. Okay, this one I don't even know what this is, but it looks like it's not a side scroller, is it? Well, this was shown. There really wasn't much text or anything like that, and there was nobody like speaking over it. It just sort of like showed these visuals of this woman like running through a city, and then near the end, she like confronts her as like, or there's like this girl near the end. Oh, sorry. There was okay. So there was looks like a side scroller. Okay. So anyway, there's some of that, and then at the very end there was like an image of I'm just going to it like this girl walking through this, and like something came up. I don't know. Like I do like side scrollers. I think side scrollers are pretty fun for sure. Like I love Mega Man X is like one of my favorite side scrollers, and I don't really play any like new ones in particular. Like I'm not sure if this is specifically up my alley. If this is something that's like low, I think this is going to come out at like lower cost because it just seems like something that should come out for like, $30 or less. It looked, okay, look fine. Spoon, any thoughts? Just like a side scroller game, you know.
yeah, another kind of indie side scroller going on here. Again, I don't really play these kinds of games. Not really up my alley. I think it looks, again, it kind of has a unique art style, a unique feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're into these kinds of games, this might be cool.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I,
I generally don't play these kinds of games. So
I think if it's a side scroller that comes like even if it doesn't come out, if it's like $10, sure, why not? Okay. Oh no, it's Bug Snacks. Oh no, it's Bug Snacks. Okay, Spoon. I'm gonna let the video play. Your thoughts on Bug Snacks?
I mean, this is just way too weird for me. This is not my cup of tea. This is just,
I'm gonna skip it
yeah,
forward.
it's just,
I don't.
yeah, I don't know. It's
This
just too weird.
it's like you trap the bugs and then but there's like a city building and like farming element to it. you're like trapping and capturing these animals. That looked like a hamburger, by the way. That was a burger. Um, and like you're talking to different characters. You're like, and then like but you also there was like a city build. It looked like there was like a village element to it where you like build up a village. I don't know. Um, I said this during the stream. This is like a game Kuru would play, and really
Yeah, I
enjoy.
believe that. I believe that.
It's like very weird. Um, it looked like a. I know I'm just saying this, it looks like a really heavy kids game, but like you like built. Look, it's like you build this town. I think I'm gonna sort of go back a little bit here. It looks like you not only catch all these things, which by the way that was kind of interesting. You like to propel the trap onto the bug, but the city, it looks like the town. You like rebuild the town almost. I don't know. Like if it's got like that element where you're not only catching the bugs, but you're also like rebuilding your village, and maybe like got that small Stardew element to it where you also explore. It looks like, um, that could be something kind of interesting. I know like there are a lot of people that would enjoy a game like this, where it feels a little bit like Stardew, maybe a little bit like Animal Crossing. You just you you're just catching various different creatures, and then you're building up a village and you explore. There's definitely a community for that. I think that, like, again, someone like Kuru, just as an example, who enjoys Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing, I could see them enjoying this. So for me,
Yeah, I can
yeah,
definitely see people enjoying this. It's just not it's not my cup of tea.
yeah,
Animal Crossing and Stardew, I can't stand those games. They just bore me to death.
yeah.
I I don't play that. And
I
this I
yeah.
feel the same way about. It just looks boring.
I like Stardew. I think if this is like if Bug Snacks, if this is like a co-op game, somebody could rope me into playing this for sure. But I'm not gonna like go out of my way to play it by myself. Is kind of my thing. So I don't know.
Also, apparently it says PS5, so I'm assuming this is a PS5 exclusive, which is uh-oh.
Yeah. We'll see how that. We'll see. But yeah. So anyway, okay, I'm gonna move. Oh no. Okay, the next one is the VR Star Wars game, Vader Immortal. Which, by the way, okay, like, really, Vader Immortal? Um. Okay, so step inside your own Star Wars story. So you like you use force powers. It's VR. Um, I don't know like how the it works. Where like, is it an on rails type deal, or are you like actually able to explore environments on your own? It wasn't really like clear if it was more like on rails or not. Um, Either way, I'm not interested in this at all. Spoon?
I don't have VR. I don't play VR. I'm not really interested in VR at all. We tried this once before, and I know this was at like the onset of, the Kinect. They had a Star Wars Kinect game, and that was just a dumpster fire. This will probably be far better than that, and I know it's kind of it's been like a pipe dream for a long time in the VR slash interactive thing to have like Star Wars lightsaber fighting and force powers and that kind of stuff. But
Right.
I I mean maybe it'll be good, but I just don't play
But
VR and yeah, I
I
don't
have to be
care.
honest though, if you want like to play as like a Jedi, as of right now, why don't you just play the most recent Star Wars game that came out? Like the what
Yeah,
was it called?
Fallen Order,
Fallen Order. What?
Jedi Fallen Order.
That's the
Yeah.
thing to me. Is like, okay, if you want to have all that and you want to, we'll say like sort of get into the role of like the Jedi or a Sith and use force powers and with a lightsaber, wouldn't Fallen Order be more up your alley? Like that's the weird thing to me. Is like even further back you had Force Unleashed, which wasn't like a stupendous game, but that was like the
The
first
first
game.
one was pretty. The first
The
one was
first one was
pretty
pretty
good.
good. It was
The
interesting.
second one was.
Yeah, the
But
story was terrible in the second one, but even then, like that one made you feel like you were a Force user more than anything I had played in the Star Wars universe. Because I played a couple other games before, This was even further back. For the original Xbox, there was a game called Obi-Wan, and that was I enjoyed that a lot. You got to use Force powers, but this to me is like
This seems like a cash grab to me. It's just like,
I mean, if you like VR, I guess this is something you'd enjoy. But like for me, I don't get it. If you want to be a Star Wars, if you're a Star Wars fan and you want to feel like you can use the Force, go play Jedi Fallen Order. I think is a better choice. This just seems like this just seems like something you should not be paying full price for. So that's my thought on it. I'm just trying to see what the next game is. Fate has chosen you. Okie dokie. August 25th. Well, there you go. Okay, what's the next one? Oh, this was Control, I believe. This was a Control.
what was this Control DLC?
Yeah, Control DLC. I've never played this game, but I think this.
I heard really good things about it.
It was well received.
I thought about playing it at one point. I just haven't gotten around to it. So
yeah, I've heard it's well received. I have nothing bad to say. I've never played it though. It looks really interesting though. When I was watching it, I was like, man, this looks really cool. So yeah, this looks. I mean, if you like Control and you want some DLC, sure. Oh, whoops, I skipped ahead too far. But yeah, Control DLC. There you go. Expansion 2. Cool. That's all I have to say. Very cool. If you like Control and you're interested in more content for it, I think it's awesome. Okay. The next thing is auto chess. And I think it's auto chess.
yeah, I think so.
This is like... trying to think of what to say here. This is so this auto chess, I believe, was the one that the first Dota auto chess. When Dota auto chess came out, the developers actually created their own auto chess game, and I think this is it. Yeah, auto chess to me is kind of like, I don't want to say dead, but it's
the fad came and went.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much like moved on. People are moving on from auto chess. I do think it has a place. I know TFT is still somewhat popular, but I don't know how many people still play Underlords. I played Underlords a little bit, and it was okay. It was fine. But like, I think the auto chess that people play is Hearthstone Battlegrounds. I don't think there's really anything else that people are into besides Hearthstone Battlegrounds right now. That's like the premier auto chess game at this point. TFT being second. This one, I guess, like if you enjoy auto chess and want to play on your PlayStation console because you don't have a PC or you can't, or I think this is on mobile too, by the way. Cool, but my opinion, this is like, I just like shrug my shoulders and go, cool. I guess
they feel very late to the party on this one.
This has been out for some time too. Like it really has. It's been out for a while. But the thing is, like, it late to the party isn't like there's no reason to be excited for this. Like Elder Scrolls Legends PogChamp. Oof. Anything else, Spoon? I don't know. There's much else that you want to say, but
I never hopped on the auto chess craze. So,
oh my god. It's so funny, too, because the characters look exactly like Dota 2 characters. Just, like, carbon copy.
One thing I will say is, like, I don't know, the graphics in this look pretty good. Like,
it's
pretty. It's colorful. It's yeah.
No. The graphics aren't that bad at all. Oh, my God. Even the abilities look exactly so. Okay. So, yeah, I've said my piece. I have nothing else to say. Let's see. What's the next thing on our list? Don't remember the name of this one, but this was like the puzzle.
I think it's called the Pedestrian.
The Pedestrian. I didn't really have much to say about this game, to be honest, before, but I have a bit more to say about it. These are the types of games that I could see someone playing. You pick up, like, in between a League of Legends queue type of deal. And that's not a bad thing at all. I think these are super fun to play, like, in between something else. These are the type of games I would play. Just like super simple, but like this is kind of an interesting style to it. Yeah, I could see, like, for example, a streamer playing this in between a League of Legends queue as an example. So, in a good way though. So, Spoon, any thoughts on this pedestrian game?
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of the stuff that was in this presentation, I don't really think this is up my alley. I doubt I will play this, but it looks kind of cool and unique. Yeah, I mean that's kind of what I have to say, which is again, I feel like I've said that about a lot of things in
Yeah,
this presentation. It looks interesting, it looks unique, but I doubt I'll play it because
yeah. This I don't know. Like again, something you play in between something else type of deal, and that again, that's not a bad thing. It's just like I'm not going to sit down and play this for hours on end. Is the answer?
yeah, for sure.
But I think I actually liked the way it looked.
Yeah, I did too. I like the style of it.
Okay, so this is oh man, what's this one? Oh, this was the
Oh,
hood.
the Robin Hood thing.
Yeah, basically the Robin Hood thing. Yeah. Um, honestly, I'm not 100% sure what this is. I thought this was like a Left 4 Dead 2 type of game. I don't know what the term is for that, but just like you fight against the horde type deal with um, with objectives, and it showed like multiple characters, so it felt like a cooperative game potentially. Um,
I see this as being multiplayer. It looked like there was going to be like two different teams
yeah,
of heroes that are trying to, I don't know what their objective is, but this looks like a multiplayer game to
yeah,
me where
I can see
you
that.
take control of a particular hero on each side and try and help your team do whatever you're supposed to do.
Right.
But yeah, they didn't really explain what the game was about. They did show some gameplay at the end of the trailer, but they didn't really explain what the game was about, so it was hard to gauge exactly
Yeah.
what it is.
Actually, I don't think they showed any gameplay. It looked like I think they just showed this cutscene ending with like
Uh,
more
I I
characters.
I remember seeing a little gameplay at the end. Maybe I'm wrong, but
It looked like there was just this like cutscene. Oh no, that was gameplay. Maybe I don't know.
yeah, that right there, that was a little bit of gameplay.
I guess. Okay. Hood Outlaws and Legends. I need more information on this. I can't say anything. Oh wait, what's this? Okay, there is gameplay. You're right, there is. I said this was like For Honor. This looked a little like For Honor to an
Yeah,
extent.
it looks a little bit like For Honor as well.
And For Honor was really popular for about 6 months. I remember
Six
For
months.
Honor was
Really
like,
that long? I feel like it was popular for like a week.
oh no, I thought it was popular for longer than that. Well, maybe I exaggerated, but I know it was popular for some time. For Honor had like a period
Okay.
where it was like everybody was playing. I felt like everybody was playing it. But still, if it is like For Honor, it says oh, it is okay, so there is online multiplayer. Because I see this like text at the bottom. So anyway, I need more information about it. I'm not saying it's like something I'll play for sure, but I want some more information. Uh, okay, next game is Temtem. I'm just gonna spoil it. As a side note, I haven't played this in about 7 months. I know there's new content. I know they're coming out with like a new island, or if they might have already. So I might jump back into this at some point. I really enjoyed this game. As far as Pokemon clones go, this one did a fantastic job. It's an MMO though. So as opposed to being single player Pokemon, this is MMO Pokemon. You get to play with like a partner in co-op. I think like the mechanics of the game were done really well. So I'm actually pretty excited this is coming to PlayStation. I do think that this would do. I think this will do really well on console as well. So I'm glad that they're going outside of just PC. This is the type of game though that will never come out for Switch, for example, for obvious reasons. So
Oh yeah, as a Pokemon competitor, no.
no, this will
No,
never come out for Switch.
Nintendo will never put this on their console.
Yep, but I'm happy this is coming out for PS5 or 4 or 5, whatever. I don't know which one it is specifically. I hope this comes out for Xbox as well, because I think that it would be great on both consoles. And it says it's coming in 2021. And I know you didn't play Temtem Spoon, but anything you wanted to say?
It looked interesting from what I saw of you playing it. It looked, no, it doesn't look bad at all. it pretty shamelessly copies Pokemon, but other than that, yeah, it looked much more challenging. I liked some of the mechanics that they added with the stamina meter as opposed to the move PP and those kinds of things. So yeah, it didn't look bad.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just taking a drink here. So yeah, no, I liked it a lot. I thought even if it's a shameless Pokemon clone, they changed certain mechanics in a way that I really liked. I didn't hate any of the changes they made. Okay, Godfall. Okay, I've been thinking about this game, and I think I have more thoughts on this now. So this is a game they have dubbed a looter slasher. They said it. They said this is a looter slasher. Number one, I hate that name already.
Yeah, it sounds kind of stupid.
It is a terrible name.
It doesn't have. Yeah, it doesn't have the ring. It doesn't have the ring to it that looter shooter.
Yes.
I guess because looter shooter kind of rhymes. It does rhyme. So
yeah,
looter slasher doesn't sound good. They should have
hate it.
They should have come up with something else.
Just call it an action RPG or something else. Looter slasher. I hate it.
It's a loot based action RPG. Let's just go with that. Like
yeah. Anyway, that's like I guess that's a minor complaint, but oh my god, I hated how they called it a looter slasher. It did kind of trigger me. Now that I'm thinking about it again. So they've shown this game a couple times, 2 times that you told me. Gearbox.
I think it's 3. I think it's the 3rd time.
This is the 3rd time. Okay. So they gave an in-depth combat overview in this. And we're not going to watch the whole thing, but we're just going to skip through some of this other stuff. So they showed some of the movement, some of the attacks that can be done. This is a third person, by the way, type of game. So the environments are not bad looking, actually. I think they're kind of interesting. I do think the environments look very intriguing. I think your character model looks fine. Though I have to be honest, this is like a very prototypical, like, high fantasy character look. Which, good or bad, I don't know. But nothing stands out to me so far from the character side.
I mean, you're going to assume if this is a loot-based game that there's going to be a lot of ways you can change the way your character looks. And what they showed here is very, very stock. Like, I agree. It's just, yeah, it's kind of what you expect.
I wish they had shown, like, oh, here's some exotic gear. Here's what exotic gear looks like. That I would have liked that.
I'm sure they will do a demonstration before the game comes out showing some of the loot. They have to.
Yeah. Any thoughts on the combat you saw? I'm showing some of it now.
I think it looks pretty fun. You know, if they have really tight, good melee combat, I think it could be fun. The boss fight that they showed at the end looked Resident Sleeper, but
looked pretty bad.
Let
me see if I can sort of.
The other combat did look pretty good to me.
It's fluid. I will give it that. It's fluid.
It's very fluid.
Yeah, it is fluid. I'm just like, sorry, I'm just sort of wanted to add on to it. It didn't seem like particularly like, because you have the combos, so it did seem like, okay, 1/ move on, 1/ move on. I wish I'd seen cooperative too. That was another thing that we talked about. I wish we had seen some cooperative play. I know they probably couldn't set that up for obvious reasons, but maybe a little bit of like, okay, here's what it's like to play with a partner, as an example. They talked about weapon classes. There was like various different things you could equip. Looks like a great sword, great hammer.
There was twin blades. There was just single, like, long sword. There was a hammer, there was a great sword, and there was a spear, I think. Maybe there was one more that I'm forgetting. Like so, yeah, I mean, it seems like the combat style is going to be... there's going to be a lot of different styles. We'll see how differently they play. when that game comes out. And I wonder if you'll be required to like pick one when you start the game, or you'll be able to switch whenever you want.
Yeah.
Um,
Just trying to
so
see.
we'll see with that as well. Um,
I want to get to that boss fight, so keep going. I think I'm trying to get to it. Because the boss fight was not interesting at all. Okay, here's the boss fight. So, yeah, as you talked about before, this is the like boss fight. I'm just gonna let this play out. Um, yeah, to me, he like this was like this is kind of my problem with bosses like this is they're like the super standard damage soak. Like you wait for them to make a very specific attack. There's no element outside of the boss itself that you have to deal with. It's just the boss and what the boss does, which in some cases works out, but like in cases like this, there's just like it's boring to me because it's just hit the boss, back up, hit the boss, back up, hit the boss, back up, which
yeah,
is
that's what I
not
was gonna say.
good.
It's I don't mind, solo boss fights where you're just interacting with the boss. You can do that well, but this fight is just like, all right, let's run away. Oh, okay, he's gonna charge at me. Let's dodge that. Now let's hit him a couple times, or let's do like the super like dash move and then run away again. It's like it didn't look like he could block anything he was doing and really like fight the boss head on. It was like, no, like hit him twice, back up, dodge his thing, hit him twice, back up, dodge his thing, and it was just
Yeah.
no, yeah. I was not a fan of that boss fight. That looked pretty Resident Sleeper.
Yeah, I think Dark Souls works better with their boss fights is because movement is like such an important factor in that game. Just like, yeah, I think movements and then how you commit to your attacks. I think bosses just generally have a good design in Dark Souls, but yeah, that's kind of like a different. So yeah, this boss though, it just seemed like okay, hit him a few times, back up, he lunges. It was just like it seemed like the boss did like two things and that was it. Um, I think there wasn't much else to the boss besides that, which in a case like this, I wish there was a bit more to it than that. I wish there was like an environmental component or something. Um, but maybe that was just like a singular mini boss. Like there is a difference between a raid boss, for example, and like a single boss, right? So I mean, like I'm hopeful that if there definitely will be raid bosses in a game like this. I'm hopeful that a raid boss in this game will be much better executed, as an example. So, still time, of course, to see what they can come up with or tune out. But yeah, this
Yeah,
version, this one was not particularly exciting, actually, for me. Even seeing like how the combat worked and everything, I was like, wow, this is boring for me. I was only bored because it's like, okay, it's just like I don't know. I didn't see anything in here besides like okay, it's fluid and stuff like that that I felt like oh this is really appealing at the moment. Like I need to have this game.
Blue dark snores.
I love that. No, but
This looks like it's doing a much different thing than Dark Souls to me. The combat in Dark Souls is very deliberate, and this is like seems much more fluid and fast paced. This game doesn't look bad to me. It might actually be good.
mm-hmm.
The thing is, seems like the game that they're pushing is their big release, their big launch title for
Right.
PS5. Like, hey, this is the game that's going to show off what the PS5 can do. This is our big launch title. Check this out. And it's kind of again, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look amazing. It's not blowing me away. That's for sure. I'm like, all right,
sure.
this looks fun. It might be good, but it doesn't look incredible so far.
I agree. That's how I felt. I was like, this isn't making me think, oh, I need to have a PS5.
No, not at all.
Not at all. So, I think my biggest issue with this whole event as a whole is nothing in this, particularly from the PS5 side, made me think I should get a PS5. I'm pretty sure that other game, the JRPG,
Genshin.
Genshin.
Genshin Impact.
I think Genshin was a PS4. So
that's PS4, yeah.
if this was like PS5, maybe there's like, okay, there's at least this coming out that I'm intrigued by. But this is coming out on PS4 in autumn, whenever specifically. This event, the reason why I think I said I wasn't enthusiastic about it is because I know that this wasn't a specific PS5 event, but again, I'm just like, I'm trying to think. I haven't seen the PlayStation 5 like specific event. I don't know if there was like the console one, right? Like they're pushing Godfall pretty hard. Like this has been in multiple PlayStation streams and videos, and it's like I feel like you said, this is kind of like their big PS5 release. I don't know of any other PS5 games that are coming out within the first 6 months of its release period. Um, I know like
Well,
all the ones
they had
you
a
can.
few others. They had a
Mhm.
few others in this, like Pathless. That was a PS5 game, but we talked about that one.
Yeah,
Not interested.
not
So
interested.
sorry.
Um, and I know you can take like for example Cyberpunk. You can buy it on PS4 and transfer it to PS5, no cost. But again, it's PS4 first, like it's coming out PS4. I specifically mean PS5 exclusives. I don't know, like we kind of said that. I kind of said this with the Xbox event. Like Xbox hasn't really pushed their console here to like, oh, you got to get the console because of this game. Like Halo. Like Halo's probably the only one that they pushed that even then is like, you can still get Halo Infinite on Xbox One. Yeah, and like, but yeah, Xbox is pushing Game Pass. It's a different situation. Sony's like pushing Godfall on me, and I'm like kind of thinking this is the one you're pushing is what's confusing me. Is because this isn't really the impressive game that I think is like the launch game that's going to convince me to buy the PS5. Among other things too, like Pathless. No, God, no, not that game. So I don't know. You, go ahead. Go ahead if you. I know you have stuff to say too.
This presentation was very average to me. I wouldn't say it was bad because there's not many of the games in here that I would say just didn't look good. I'm like, but there also wasn't much that I was interested in. The one game in this presentation that I was interested in was Genshin, and then Godfall. Godfall, maybe. I mean, I'm not planning on getting a PS5 at release, so it's gonna be a wait and see.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, there was not very much in this presentation that interested me.
I think
So
I think if you're a fan of indie games, particularly side scrollers and
yeah,
platformers and puzzle games, obviously like those three in particular, I think you'd be really
there was
excited.
a lot.
Yeah,
There
I
was a
think
lot
you'd
for
be,
you here.
and I think in that situation, I think this did a good job of showing like, oh, here's some cool like indie side scrollers, here's some cool indie platformers, here's some puzzle games, but like all the PS5 highlight stuff was not particularly well executed. I mean, Genshin I think was actually kind of like a surprise one because it wasn't really obviously a platform or anything. I don't know if calling that an indie studio is appropriate, but that was making it. I don't know if it is because I don't know anything about that, but that was at least kind of interesting. And I liked a lot of things about it. But I think for me, I thought there was like, yeah, Genshin was interesting. I do like think some of the like side scrollers I saw were intriguing, but the problem is I need to see what their price point is. I don't know what they cost. But yeah, all the PS5 games that they showed here that were like, here, get a PS5, like Godfall, and I don't know about Pathless. I really don't know, but this one is just like, yeah, this isn't really selling me yet on this idea. I think this succeeded in a certain area that I think it was supposed to succeed in, but it definitely failed in making me think I need to get a PS5 or something like that. Much like, again, the Xbox event. The Xbox event did not convince anybody really to get the new console, but it sure convinced you that Game Pass is a good deal. It
Yeah,
sure convinced you.
Game Pass.
It sure convinced you of that. So like, it's kind of the same situation. It succeeded in certain areas, but it failed in others. And in the Xbox case, I think the Game Pass was a major selling point, so it succeeded there for sure. I think in this case, the major selling point was supposed to be the indie titles, and it did sell itself well there. Because I do think a lot of those titles looked nice and definitely had seems like a strong community behind plenty of them. So, yeah. Okay. Any other thoughts, Spoon, before we sort of jump off this one in particular?
Nope. I think we're good with this state
Okay.
of play.
Yeah. I would say though that I'm just swapping over to my other screen. I think the state of play. We said it on Friday. I was bored for a lot of it. Yeah, that's because there was a lot of stuff on there that I was like, okay, I don't know anything about this. I'm not interested. There's probably like 3 things that I've been exposed to from this that I was interested in. Obviously, Temtem, um, Genshin. I'm still like up in the air about Godfall. I think the first time I saw Godfall stuff, I was like, oh, this looks really cool. And now I'm starting to be like, okay, maybe I should back up a bit. And then there was not Pathless for sure. Oof. There was like one other thing I'm sure I was like kind of intrigued by.
Crash.
Crash, of course. Yeah, of course Crash. Of course Crash. But I think there was probably like maybe one of those platformers or like one of those indie games might be something like depending. It's like, oh, here's like an indie game for $15. Give it a try. Yeah, for sure. Some of them, for sure. So, all right. I'm just going to drop the state of play screen. Get that one out. All right. So, today we sort of like talked a bit. The state of play wasn't really the thing we were going to focus on heavily. I think we should just chat about some of the other PlayStation stuff. I don't know anything about any other games coming out specific for PS5. About Impact. That's. Oh yeah, send it to me. Don't send it on Discord. Can you post it here? Actually, I can't see anything on Discord right now. Production won't allow me to. But yeah, you should send that. Maybe we can show it. Did you know about the countries about Impact? What's Impact? I don't know what Impact is actually.
Genshin Impact.
Oh, Genshin Impact. Okay. Interesting. So I'm just like, oh, okay. What's with the like side overlay? Just as a side note, uh, oh, I'm looking at the visual. Oh, okay. I'm looking at some of the visuals. I'm not gonna put this on stream just yet, Spoon, because I want to double check all this. Okay, I could see how people are like, yeah, this is Breath of the Wild. So I'm Spoon. I don't know if you're looking at the video.
I have an ad right now.
Oh, you have an ad? Get destroyed. Oh my. I just saw the climbing thing. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's bad. There's a climbing segment, and it looks just like what Breath of the Wild does. Oh, man. Oh, and there's a... Oh, come on. Okay, that's pretty bad. Okay, I will say... I'm just going to say something, though. I'm not going to necessarily hold it against the game and just be like, oh, I'm not going to get it now. But this is pretty bad. This is pretty bad. This is like... Yeah. And the timing fits really well, too. It's been like definitely 2 years plus since Breath of the Wild, right? I'm just trying to see, like... Okay, but can I?
Oh.
No, go ahead. Actually, go ahead. I was going to say something afterwards. Go
Okay.
ahead.
If you're gonna copy a game, though, I mean, people love Breath of the Wild. Take out the crappy durability system on weapons and fix a few of the other annoying things that we talked about last week, and sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I will also say it seems like the trailer did look a little different. Why were people were protesting because it looks like Breath of the Wild? Was that the protest? I'm just trying to figure this out because like they're talking about protesting. But yeah, I got to be honest. Yes, they are definitely. It definitely looked like they were copying a lot of things Breath of the Wild did. But that's kind of like flattery to a certain extent too. Like that just means Breath of the Wild did some good things, I guess. That you're copying them.
I mean, you can't copyright like
a specific game mechanic.
Game design elements or game mechanics, like
Yeah.
so. If they see Breath of the Wild and they're like, yeah, we should copy that with our characters in our world with a slightly more anime like art style and do that, like
They'll do it.
okay.
Yeah, cool. But it's like, okay, but the thing that like the title says Zelda plagiarism, it's in this case like I don't want to like seem like I'm super defending against Breath of the Wild. Like obviously, people really love that game and like, but like people copy each other in the game industry all the freaking time. There's like,
It's
what do you
pretty
mean Zelda plagiarism? It's like everybody does it.
it's pretty rare these days to see a completely unique
Right.
game.
It's like, okay, are we really gonna like plagiarism? Can't believe plagiarism. Like, there's a certain point where it's like, okay, but it's so blatant, it looks like an exact carbon copy. I mean, I understand that, but like, and there were a couple things like the cooking, but at the same time, like, okay, they copied the cooking, or the climbing thing. Okay, they copied the climbing, which by the way, don't copy that. Get rid of that. Don't copy that. Yeah, that happens though. The game industry does that. A lot of places do that actually. Like companies do that all the time. They copy each other. They copy each other and call it a new feature. Good example: Discord and Gilded. Gilded copied Discord. Discord copied something called Slack. Slack tried to take a bunch of stuff from Skype. They copied certain things. It's called building, like they're just like building features and stuff to focus on a very specific community. In Discord CS they were trying to do obviously gaming, and Gilded now is trying to be the gaming one. But innovation there's a certain level of innovation. There is innovation. It's true. I don't want to discount that, but Zelda plagiarism. It's like, really? Because like
Plagiarism's a little bit of a strong word there.
yeah, it's like, really, you're gonna call that plagiarism? But like, Breath of the Wild did the Watchtowers, but Assassin's Creed does that too. Plagiarism. Plagiarism. It's like, I know it's a small minor thing, but still. I don't know. It's like, let's hold off on like, it does look pretty bad. There are certain things that look really bad though. Like the cooking was bad.
The cooking, the climbing, and the gliding. I was like, okay, that's straight out of Breath of the Wild.
But this game, I'm watching the video of it. I'm not going to put it up just yet. It seems like the characters have abilities. They have like very specific abilities.
Yeah, the combat looks different than
it looks
Breath of the
far
Wild,
different
for sure.
The combat looks far different. I'm like, and then they're showing some Zelda stuff. It's just like, I understand he's like trying to make a specific point about a company. I don't know if it was like I don't know what that was at the end. But I think that, yeah, focus on the original stuff. That combat though looks so different from Breath of the Wild though. Like, I feel like people like don't want to. I don't want you guys to selectively call plagiarism. You don't really. You're going to selectively say, "Oh, the cooking's the same." Plagiarism. It's like, really? It's the cooking. Like in Breath of the Wild, cooking was super important, yes, but let's not have selective minds. But it is what it is.
And why are you getting mad at people copying one of your favorite games? Like don't you just want more? Like you love Breath of the Wild so much, you're just gonna be pissed when someone copies it? Why?
I don't know. I don't get that stuff too. It's like, really? I'd like you to copy that actually.
When someone has a good idea and makes a good game, guess what? People copy it because
it's like
it was popular.
But here's the thing too. When reviewers do this, reviewers of any kind do this all the time. They're like, why didn't they just do what Pokemon did, for example? Why didn't they just do what this game did? But then when the game does it, all the masses are like, oh, that's a plagiarism. It's like, but wait. You can't have it both ways. You can't say, oh, they should have just done it like this way. And then when the game does it, you call plagiarism. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Like,
this is just it. Yeah. That's a double standard. That's complete. That's complete hypocrisy.
It is. It's stupid. Like if Skyrim developed combat mechanics that were improved from another game and just copied it, I don't care. It's better than what's there. That's good. You want to take good mechanics from another game and instill it into your game. And I'm not going to call plagiarism for that. I'm just going to call that smart decision making, actually. It's just like, I don't care if it's minor. Like, yeah, I got to be honest. Like, League copied Dota in a lot of aspects because there was like obviously the team that came over, the people that came over to develop it. But is that a bad thing to take elements from another game and put it into your own with some of your own unique flair? I'm
A-
glad that
Any
the go ahead. No, sorry, go ahead.
anytime a new game gets popular, all these other companies try to copy it. MOBAs, battle chess, or
Auto
not
chess.
battle chess, auto chess. Thanks, Jesus. Um, battle royale games. Let's go back further. Like when remember when Call of Duty got super popular and just
Mm,
blew up after Modern Warfare. Every company tried to make their own Call of Duty with like the ADS and the multiplayer,
mm.
and yeah, it's just like,
Tetris.
come
Oh
on.
my god, Blue, you're killing me right now.
And again, the way Assassin's Creed done, like every open world is plagiarized the original Assassin's
Here,
Creed from the way they did
here's a good
things.
example
Like
for Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed. I don't know if they copied anybody for this, but the stealth mechanics in Assassin's Creed, Shadow of Mordor literally stole most of those mechanics. Like it like
again,
basically did. I don't care.
every open world game or most games that do stealth mechanics do it the way Assassin's Creed did it.
Yeah,
Like
they do. Like even what was the game that I was playing? It's like it had there's some other games too that had like almost the same stealth mechanics as Assassin's Creed. And I'm like, who cares? Who cares? It's just like nobody cares. It's if it works, it works. Use it. You know, the wheel wasn't broken there. Just just don't mess with it. It's just so silly to me. It's like plagiarism, plagiarism. It's like, really? You call plagiarism here, but whenever like another game comes out, you're like, man, I wish they did it in this game. That would be plagiarism, wouldn't it? Like if they did it almost the same way, wouldn't that be plagiarism too? Like other games did kill streaks. Who cares? Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like it's
every card game is just plagiarism of Magic because it's a card game.
it
Like
does, yeah, it's just stupid. It is stupid. And like again, like that plagiarism doesn't always work. Like just because a game steals another thing, like it has to be implemented in a way that's appropriate for that game too. So it's like we talk about obviously like copying good mechanics can be good, but at the same time, it can also backfire. So mobile.
yeah, or all the gotcha games that
Oh man, those gotcha
exist.
games. They're all very similar, but there's a twist. There's always a small twist or like the IP being different is the value. Obviously like let's take Tales, you know, we play Tales of Cristoria, but I don't like mobile trash. I just don't. But it's got an IP that fits for me, so there you go. People play like, you know, Fate Grand Order because it's Fate Grand Order as opposed to maybe another one. Some people play Raid Shadow Legends for whatever reason. I won't question their choice, but it just like depends. And a lot of those gotcha games are the same. They really are. The greatest RPG of all time. Every time I see an ad, by the way, on Twitch, I saw an ad on Twitch about from a streamer. She was like, "Oh, Raid Shadow Legends is so innovative." And I'm like, "Are you high? Even for an ad, are you high? How could you say that with a straight face? It's amazing. I wouldn't be able to. It's just like, oh, and they were like, oh, look at the graphics of Raid Shadow Legends. Are they just amazing? I was like, are you serious? Are you
No, they're
serious?
not.
It's like, are you joking? You must be joking because the graphics in Raid Shadow Legends are not good. Like it's a mobile game. Of course they're not good. Although I will admit Tails graphics are okay considering it's a mobile game. Like I think they're okay. But oh god, yeah, it's just like it's insane. Every time I see a Raid Shadow Legends ad on YouTube or even the Twitch ones now that I'm seeing, they just like Raid Shadow Legends is an innovative and with amazing graphics, and I'm like, wow, you didn't throw up while saying that. Congratulations, that's amazing. I'm surprised you didn't get sick to your stomach while saying it. So we were going to talk about other PlayStation games, but we got trailed off by plagiarism.
We still got 10
Yeah, we
minutes.
still got Taylor. We could talk about anything else. Can I? I was gonna steal the floor for something. Oh, I'm stealing the floor. I'm stealing the floor for 5 minutes. I'm pulling a Gundam Maxi Boost on here, and what I mean by that is, so I'm gonna shamelessly say that I've been playing Destiny 2 with this and Hectic, my buddies from the Overwatch community, and Full Auto, and they were actually on the Myriathon home stream. They had a incredibly entertaining experience on there. But we're trying to put like a group together to do raids as like a group in there. So I've been playing Destiny 2 for quite a bit lately. Um, Vis has, and I, and actually Ian Bits too, we're offering to help, like, kind of get new players in. We play on PC. You're more than welcome to join. It's free to play, up to a certain extent, obviously. There's a certain point where you'd have to pay to get certain content, but that's okay. It is free. I'm enjoying free right now. And if you are interested, you should let Vis know or me know. I have a channel in my Discord, for example, specifically for Destiny 2 planning. You need 6 people for a raid. We've got like 4 people. We just need 2. That's my sponsored segment for this Myriathon. You're welcome. For this Myriacast, you're welcome. Please consider joining our Destiny 2 raiding groups and such. We will chauffeur new players into the game. Okay, that's my Gundam Maxi Boost segment for this Myriacast. Because
So Maxi Boost.
So Maxi Boost now. Okay, so let's do a plug for that. How is that, by the way? I've seen you playing with Nick. How is that? How's that going?
It's fun.
It's fun. Okay.
I don't know. I don't know what else to say. It's fun to, it's a 2v2 game, just me and my buddy playing. We're getting our teamwork down. We're getting our It's just really.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, keep going. I'm sorry. I have
No, what's your question?
My question is, it's 2v2, right? So
Yep.
Is there 3v3? I think you said there was 3v3.
There was in the last game in Gundam Versus, not in this one. There's only 2v2.
Okay. Have you ever played with Nick and he's done something really bad? Like he screwed up real bad. And it was like rookie mistake bad. Have you ever chewed him out yet? Has there been a chew out of one or the other person yet?
No,
Okay.
we don't generally chew each other out.
Okay.
Like,
because
when we lose, it's usually a team effort. There've been a couple times where I'm like, all right, that was on me, and there's a couple times where it's like, yeah, that one was on me. I just like inted. I'm like, yeah, I played like crap. I play like crap that game. It happens.
Yeah. Just curious. So I had my Destiny plug in here, but I will let you guys know. So I've streamed Destiny 2 a couple times. I will continue to do it, by the way. I really enjoy it. And my computer handles it quite well. So when I play, though, and I play with Vis and like Ian, for example, I throw a lot, apparently, all the time. I can think every 15 to 20 minutes, I'll do something, and I'll just hear, Otto, you're throwing. And I'm like, what did I do this time? So apparently, I got a legendary item, not an exotic. Those are actually different. Legendary item, and it was like a really good item. And it had good perks on it, I guess. I didn't even check or know, because I'm not too familiar with Destiny anymore. So I was like, I saw it had a low light level, though. So I dismantled it. Okay? Ian, in my Twitch chat, went ballistic. It was like I had made a critical mistake, like I killed a cat. It was so bad. And I'm just like, I was like in shock. I was like, whoa, what happened? And I apparently dismantled some like really great thing. And for me, I'm like, that's whatever, move on. But it was just like, that's kind of my experience with Destiny, is I'll play with like Ian or Nick, or not Nick, excuse me, Vis. And I'll just throw every like 15 minutes, I guess. So I was only curious because like, it sounds like you and Nick are having a really positive mental attitude, as they say in Overwatch, which, by the way, Overwatch never has a positive mental attitude. I think it's just hilarious. But yeah, I just throw all the time. So if you join us, you're just going to hear Vis constantly saying you're throwing or you're bad.
Yeah, I don't really want to get flamed by this.
He won't flame you. He only does it to me. It's literally me. It's only me. Like, we played a Gambit, which is it's a PvPvE. It's technically PvE, but you can like attack each other, and you're trying to outscore the other team. So there is a PvP aspect. And like, I'm not very good. It's like the first time I played it, whole time, you're throwing, Otto, you're throwing. Wow, you're bad. Otto, you're throwing. I'm like, It's just like the whole time, man. So,
All I'm saying
I'm
is playing
jealous.
Maxi Boost on with me
I'm
is a
jealous.
much
Yeah,
more positive
I'm
experience.
super jealous because all I get
Uh-huh.
is auto you're throwing. That should be just should just be Vis's slogan. Anytime we play, it's just like I should have like an alert. It's like anytime I do something bad, oh here it comes. I'm throwing. I'm throwing. It's crazy, man. It's funny, but it's crazy. Hectic is nice though. Hectic is nice to me. He's supportive. So I was just curious.
Yeah.
He's at the laugh and learn. It's not like I don't get mad at him. I'm just like joking around. And like Ian, they're just joking around. But yeah, Ian just went nuts. He was like, I can't believe you just made it. He was just all caps. I can't believe you just meddled that. Why would you do it? They have godly perks. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just sitting there like, oh, okay. Whoops. I don't care. But, oh my God, it was so funny. It was just like the whole time I'm throwing. It was quite hysterical. And they're like, when are you playing again? Wait, you just told me I threw it. Giving me shit. I don't know. Oh my God, dude, it's a journey. Anyway, any other final thoughts, Spoon? Do you want to plug your
Um,
Gundam? I'm cool with it. We're like
I
we're
mean,
just hanging out.
I've plugged it. I mean, I, it's fun. Are we
Oh
getting PS5 at launch? No, not
no,
planning.
no. Oh, I think okay.
They would need a killer app
Oh,
exclusive JRPG for me to consider it.
yeah.
They
For
would need
not
like if Tales of Arise was exclusive, which it's not because they already announced that it's not, but then I would think about it. But they would need an absolutely killer app JRPG for me to go in on
yeah.
PS5 at launch.
I gotta be honest. Like I've said this before. I'm not really a fanboy of either of them too much. I like Xbox Game Pass though.
Yeah, I do
But
too.
there hasn't really been any reason for me to get a next gen console so far. Like even like I love Halo. I do want to play Halo on a next gen system, but Halo's also coming out on Steam. The problem though is I can just guarantee console Halo will be much easier to deal with than PC Halo. PC Halo, I'm just gonna get destroyed. I know it. My reflexes are terrible. I'll be throwing the whole time now. But with console, at least with console, I can mitigate that because other people have to deal with controllers too. Um, but like for me, I don't know. There's nothing on PS5 that's like enticing me at all. Like it's, I gotta be. Can I just say both these Sony and Microsoft has done a horrible job interesting me in their console. I'm gonna ignore all the the PlayStation fanboys who are like, oh, but the PlayStation's nailing it out of the park, and they okay, but have they really announced a game that has knocked your socks off yet for either console?
I think some of the things they announced at the last PlayStation event, the actual PS5 one, with like I think Ratchet and Clank was pretty big for a
Mm,
lot of people.
sure.
And I know we talked to Zem about that.
Yeah.
Um, what else? That's the one that's sticking out in my mind for some reason. I know they had the Spider-Man. I guess it's an
I
expansion
think
or
so.
something
I
like
think it's an
that.
expansion. If you missed it, but there is this
Thanks,
incredible.
thanks, thanks, Blue.
I hope the best for Pathless, but that art style it triggers me. I hope for the best though, because I don't necessarily want a game to fail, but that art style triggers me. Hopefully, it's you know
But
bearable
yeah,
for
no.
some people.
I mean, I agree with you, Otto. For me, so far, there's no killer app for either systems. Like, oh man, I gotta play that. I gotta buy PS5 because that one right there, that's what I had to have. For last gen, for Xbox One, it wasn't a launch title, but it was a few months after launch. Titanfall was the killer app for me. I was like, I gotta have Xbox One because I have to play Titanfall. That looks amazing.
Titanfall was amazing, actually. Like I remember playing that with you. That game was great.
Yeah, it was. It died really fast, but it was really
It
fun
was
when it was up.
great. I didn't play much of Titanfall 2 though, but I also heard that was pretty fun. I think you played it. Did you play it?
I did actually play it a little bit, not that much.
Wasn't
I
it
beat the story.
wasn't it Apex Legends was Respawn, right?
Yes.
Didn't Respawn make Titanfall?
Yes.
Isn't that? Oh man. I mean,
I
Apex
feel like
Legends.
Titanfall 2 was just marketed really poorly.
Yeah,
It's like no one heard of it when it came out. It really went under the radar.
which is sad. It's just sad too. It's like, but giant mech suits and
Yeah,
had like fluid combat.
Titanfall was amazing. That game was so fun.
Fluid combat.
Um,
Respawn's like one of the only other companies with shooting games. So like for me, obviously Bungie's shooting mechanics. This isn't a Destiny plug, by the way. Bungie's shooting mechanics have been like some of the best in anything I've played.
they're really good.
Oh my god, it's so good.
The thing that's disappointed me about Destiny when I played Destiny is and I know it's Bungie and they are really good at making shooters and their shooting mechanics are really good, but I want more RPG.
That's true.
And it's not RPG enough
No, it's
for
not.
me.
It's not. No,
It's just
I'm
like
with you.
loot, like light level.
Yeah.
There's like a few like skill tree type choices with your abilities and those kinds of things, but that's about it. And I'm like, I want a little more depth to the RPG mechanics in this game, and it's not there.
No, it's not.
So
I'm with you there. It's very heavy on the looting and shooting, but sorry, back to my just like Bungie does great shooting mechanics. Respawn does a good job too. With Titanfall, they've done a good job. Even when we played Apex a little bit,
yeah,
the
Apex is
shooting
good.
mechanics were good. Um,
Apex is the one BR that I've played, and I did enjoy it some
did
when I
enjoy
played
yeah.
it. To be fair, I haven't tried any of the other ones, but they don't really interest me.
No, but like with shooting mechanics, like I said, I think Bungie and Respawn are like some of the best I've seen. I'm ignoring Call of Duty for now. I just ignore them. Call of Duty's fine. Like it's always been fine, but
I mean, the original shooting mechanics for Call of Duty was developed by Infinity Ward, which
Yeah.
was a lot of those guys are now at Respawn.
Yeah, a lot of them
so
are,
or
yeah.
at least the main guys.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've never Call of Duty obviously the original groups did a good job, and I think they still are fine now. But man, Bungie's like they just nailed it, especially with Halo, and then obviously now with Destiny. But
It's just
Respawn
too
too.
bad
It's too
that EA is the publisher for Respawn. That makes me I wish Respawn could do a Bungie and like get off and do their own thing, but
Yeah,
they
me
probably
too.
just don't have the resources to do that because
But they have Apex now. I mean, that's kind of like that's kind of
and
their thing.
they made Jedi Fallen Order as well,
Yeah,
which
they
isn't
did.
a shooter, but apparently it was a good game.
Yeah, no,
Um,
I've heard good things about it. Um, just trying to think of, yeah. But seriously though, what are we at? Oh, okay, we're at like 2
yeah,
hours.
we're out of time.
Oh man, so much to talk about. So many things. We just gotta one time just have a podcast where we just sit here and talk about anything and everything. We just hang out. Okay, let's do the closing. You should follow the channel if you're not. You should follow the Twitter if you're not. Twitter is the Myriathon channel. Obviously, is the Myriathon. You're watching it. I would hope you're watching it right now, at least of the live version of this video. If you're watching on YouTube for the VOD, please consider subscribing, liking the video or disliking it. For example, like if you're a big Pathless fan and you just think we're speaking blasphemy, you should say you hate it. You hate what I said about the color palette. And if you're not following myself or Spoon for Twitter stuff, please do so. Automaton89 SPT Spoon for him. I'm gonna shout out really quick the live stream we're gonna have Thursday, which is our Let's Play stream. That is going to be specifically Tales of Christoria, the gacha game that Spoon and I play. We'll be doing just like probably raids. I'll be doing some story because I need to finish that, and just having fun. I mean, it's a great game to relax with and talk. So, Blue, get the raid folks ready Thursday. If Spoon is streaming, I don't know what the time is exactly, but if I am streaming it, it'll be 4:30 p.m. Pacific.
I mean, here's my thought. Like,
Okay.
because I do like the 4:30 time. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
So either we just take a break. If I'm streaming, either we just take a break or I just hand it off to you. Like I'll stream for the first bit of it, and then we'll just go down for
Whatever.
a minute.
Like a minute.
While we swap, and I go eat dinner, and you continue, and I'll come back.
Okay.
But
if that's the option,
that's my
I'm
thought.
just trying to think. Yeah. I think that could work too. We can talk about it more. But yeah. But the point is, 4:30 is the tentative time for that start. We'll get raids going and such. So please be sure to stop by for that. Actually, I am excited about those because those videos, by the way, of our Let's Play of Tales of Crestoria are actually like the best videos on YouTube, which is kind of crazy. So I think that's pretty much it for the conclusion. Spoon, anything else before we leave? Nope.
Nope,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay. Thanks everybody for watching. I know we saw Blue and Nick in there. Thanks for stopping by. Anybody else who stopped by? Hopefully we'll see you either Thursday or on Monday. So thanks everybody. Have a good rest of your week.